Today we're going to talk about the various distribution methods used with panel block systems. There are three main types of distribution used with panels. The first and most widely used is parallel distribution. We also utilize serial distribution and drop boxes. When using parallel distribution to feed a panel block system, a typical setup would be supply lines running from either a distribution box or a pressure manifold. When we do so, most of the supply line should be composed of 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC. When using a distribution box, we want to stub out of the distribution box with a small piece of 3-inch PVC to begin with, maybe 24 inches long or so. This gives us the availability to use 3-inch speed levelers at some point if needed for system maintenance. We're then going to go ahead and reduce that fairly quickly to our 2-inch PVC. By reducing quickly to the 2-inch rather than keeping the 3-inch PVC long, we are able to negate how much sludge can build up at the transition point and help maintain a clean functioning system. We will then run 2-inch PVC all the way to the beginning of each panel line. Then, for horizontal panels, you might be using an entry tee to split that 2-inch supply line into two pieces and shotgun feeding that first horizontal panel in each line. With vertical systems, you will simply take this 2-inch supply line all the way to the first panel block and plumb it into the first panel. When utilizing serial distribution, we like to think of it as end-to-end connections. If we were using serial distribution to connect line 1 to line 2 in a horizontal panel system, we would do so by plumbing out of the last panel of the first line and then using an entry tee back to a single supply line. We'll then take that supply line and use whatever fittings necessary to turn it down to line 2. Note that we do not use any kind of turn up to fully utilize the storage capacity of the first line. By doing this, we maintain aerobic activity and keep freeboard in the tops of the panels rather than filling them up and completely causing them to go anaerobic. Once we plumb down to our line 2, we will then use another entry tee to split that single supply line again and double shotgun feed the end panel of line 2. When we use serial distribution, we need to make sure that we snake from end to end of each line. We can't pipe serial distribution straight from one end of all of our lines like we do with other products, because there's no resistance to flow down line when doing this with panel blocks, and we would simply overflow the last line of the slope and blow it out. If we're running serial distribution with vertical panel blocks, we're simply going to exit the last panel of each line with a 2-inch PVC, turn it down to the next line, and then enter the next line with a single 2-inch supply. Another useful distribution method with panel block systems is utilizing drop boxes. Drop boxes are unique in that they can be placed anywhere in a nitrification line and can move effluent from line to line. This helps solve issues in mountainous regions where you might have obstacles that prevent end-to-end connections in serial distribution. Drop boxes typically come with a high hole, a low hole, and an intermediate hole. This high hole will be for the inlet pipe. The inlet pipe will be at least a 3-inch Schedule 40 PVC. The outlet to the first trench will be the lowest hole. You will use 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC to plumb to that. When you are piping your intermediate hole, which will travel from one drop box down line to the next line, you will use 3-inch Schedule 40 PVC.